Andy from Single Malt. Today I'm going to taste Benromach 10-year-old. Now, it's a new release onto the whiskey scene, but it's really made its mark, picking up quite a few gold medals. We'll run through that in a minute. But yeah, it's really has forced itself upon us with its prominence. Benromach, it's the smallest distillery in Speyside, just near a little town called Forest. It used to actually be called Forest Distillery back in 1898, I think, when it was established, and changed its name to Benromach in the 1900s. But it's had a really torrid history, changing hands several times. It was more silent, spent more time silent than Charlie Chaplin. It was up and down and had all sorts of management issues. Never really been run well. So I guess it doesn't carry a lot of reputation with it. It's only a little distillery, making 200,000 litres of spirit, smallest in Speyside and one of the smallest in Scotland. So it only takes 2 people to run the whole place. It really is I guess, as boutique a distillery as you can get. Yeah, so from humble beginnings and perhaps an even more humble history, there's been a lot of investment since it was purchased in 1993 by Gordon and MacPhail, who basically rebuilt the distillery from the inside out. Now, to give you a bit of history on Gordon and MacPhail, they've been making and aging and they've been aging, blending and bottling single malt whiskies hand in hand with the whiskey industry for 116 years. So they know a good dram, but this is sort of the first time for them to go right back to the initial brewing and distillation. But their specialty is in oak selection, and for this, I guess, I don't know if I should call it their flagship, but it's kind of it'll be their mainstay, perhaps more so than their flagship. It's the 10-year-old. It'll be like the thing they're expecting to sell the most of and really hang their hat on as a distillery. So it's 80% first fill bourbon barrels and 20% first fill sherry casks. They age those for 9 years, but then put it together and age the whiskey for the next year in first fill Oloroso sherry casks. So you get the benefits of both types of oak, and then finishing it in Oloroso sherry, which is very rich sherry, and they're hogs heads that it goes in as well. They do peat this a little bit, about 12 ppm of peat, which is quite mild, but by contrast, something like Lefroy, easy for you to say, which is up around 40 ppm. This is only 12 parts per million. So I'm expecting a hint of peat, some richness from the sherry, a very clean whiskey from the treatment in American oak, and also because all of the barrels used are first fill, I'm expecting it to get quite a lot of influence from the bourbon and the sherry. Now, to explain, you get first fill, second fill, and then refill, I think is the terminology, barrels. So first fill is obviously the best. The oak is still fresh. It can interact a lot more with the spirit, and you get not only the whiskey having unpleasant flavours taken out, but you also get the whiskey or the spirit that was aged in there previously giving up some flavours, especially compared to some of the refills. So we might have a look at this wee baby and see how it tastes. I really like the packaging, actually. Really nice bronzy flavour, and it actually has quite a bronzy colour too. So I guess that's indicative of the sherry. Generally, for whiskies aged in sherry, it has a bronziness to it. I'm pretty sure this has had no caramel added. It's a 43 ABV, so it's reasonably high, not quite as high as some of the others we've had, which have been up around 46, but still has plenty of kick. I find it quite mild on the nose. Yeah, it's smoky, not peaty. To put that in context, it smells to me a little bit more like smouldering campfire. Yeah, not that kind of big punch in the face peat. Yeah, I think it's going to be an elegant whiskey because I'm not being smacked in the face with any particular smells. They're there, like there's certainly some vanilla there and some richness, maybe almond. Yeah, it's some really nice, almost confectionery sort of smells like banana. Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, the first thing we're going to talk about is the smokiness because it's actually a really good one to contrast between peat and smoke because I know there's a lot of talk about peat and smoke. This really emphasises smokiness in a whiskey, not peatiness. And it's really there on the after palate and really stays with you. So it's kind of like a little bit of a bushfire smell, and yeah, it just really lingers, and it's really quite delightful. Yeah, I'm really focusing on that, so I haven't talked much about the other flavours that are in there, and there's plenty. So I found almond, and I'm actually finding this quite a nutty whiskey. I know they talk about chocolate in it. I don't particularly find chocolate, but I find spice and nuts, which I really like actually. Yeah, it's really different. I was expecting it to have a lot of sherry and a lot of vanilla, and it does have that. Like it's got a bit of Christmas cake, a bit of dried fruit, kind of on the dry spectrum of the dried fruits. Um, yeah, more like orange peel, dried orange peel, rather than sultanas. In fact, I don't get sultanas, I get more dried orange peel. Yeah, nice actually. And in terms of and spice, yeah, it's a real savoury whiskey. Nice, very pleasant. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it. And a great example of a smoky whiskey. So if you are interested in the distinction between smokiness and peatiness, yeah, it's a really good one to try out. So, Slanger.